I spoke with my friend Joe Manganiello about his player tips and tricks for D&D.
My tips for players, I would say you're telling the story too. I prepare as a player, not as much as I do as a DM, but I do prepare, and I do think about where I'd like to take the character, and I do think about cinematic moments, whether they involve the mechanics of the game or story-wise. The great example is stealing the hand of Vecna. I shouldn't say stealing. I just took it. It didn't belong to anybody at that point. It was just laying there. But that was a lot of prep, and none of the players at the table knew anything. Matt knew that Archon was keeping an eye out, was cognizant that Vecna was using something to teleport cities and armies that could maybe be used to teleport Tiamat. So he knew that I was interested in that, but he didn't know anything further than that. That was all me planning. And so that's the kind of care that I put into playing, just playing in a campaign. And I like to take that same sort of energy. I mean, sometimes the stakes, they're never really that high. That's very unusual. That's like a final campaign battle stakes. But with that said, every time I play as a player, I'm always at home and I'm thinking, okay, I've got this tiefling hex warlock. I've got darkness. Now, if I take Devil's Sight, I can see through the darkness. If I cast darkness on an object, an amulet, a weapon, on a piece of armor that's the bugbears, it will move with it, or I can hit it. I'm thinking, how can I go home and I lay the books out at night, and sometimes I'm looking, if I have a game coming up, I'm trying to figure out a new combat strategy. I'm trying to work something out so that when I get there, I can then help my group out with this crazy, almost game-breaking thing that I've figured out. If I can see in the dark and you can't, and I can cast darkness and just start sniping people in the dark at advantage. And I think a lot of the players that I play with, they play that way too. They're real number crunchers. And I think that's the beauty of this game, and one of the real addictive things about this game is you can do it by yourself. In between games, you can go home and you can study and you can get better at it. Somebody recently asked me, can I be bad at Dungeons & Dragons? And I said, yeah, you can. People can be bad at it. I think to people who are nervous to get back into it, don't be afraid. Everyone that plays in my group, my home group, we were all a bunch of guys who played when we were younger, who gave it up for 20 or more years and are now picking it back up. And every single person to a man says, please just take it easy on me. Don't judge me. It's like, we don't care. We were all that person. We're just going to help you and point to what the modifier you need to add to that roll. We're going to help you out. And that die, yep, roll that one. We're going to help you out. It's all good. I love seeing the light come back on in players that haven't played in a long time. But with that said, it's like you make your character, you're going to understand about 50%. You play the first time, I'd say you're going to understand another 30. So now you're up to 80% after you played one game back in. And then on the car ride home, you're going to go, oh, I should have done that. And that's another 10%. And then when you crack the books during that week leading up to the second adventure, you're going to pick up the rest. And by the time you get there for the second adventure, you're going to know what to do.
Thank you again, Joe, so much for the interview. I am your host, Todd Kenrick. Thank you so much for watching.